before I get too far into this video, do not buy the ESC I bought. I filmed this like 3 days ago, and then I just found out that the ESC isn't the correct one. It is the right. It's everything's right other than the throttle position. It doesn't have programmable throttle position to 0. You'll see what I'm talking about when you get to the video. Point is, do not buy this ESC for this application. It will not work. All right, let's get to the rest of it. Proboat upgrade part 2 is underway. Got all my parts in, and definitely oversized the ESC. I didn't realize how big the ESC was gonna be. 60 amps is huge, and it's that is for a like a helicopter or a plane. So we're just gonna work with it. I could send it back. It was so cheap. It's like if I were to send it back and wait, it's like almost not worth it. It does fit, but just barely. So anyway, let's jump right into it. So I got the 60 amp here. I mean, look at the size of that. That's what I should have just gone with the 40 and done it that way, but I want it to be extra safe. So let me show you the motor, because I tell you what, that is not gonna overheat. This guy will. I mean, what? So anyway, first things first, you got to throw the motor in before you put your giant ESC in. The ESC's obviously so big that it's just going to be up in the front nose of the boat here. And let me try to get you guys kind of in here. Let me redo my way of mounting here. How about that? Sorry, last minute changes. Okay, here's a little bit. There you go. Now you can see inside. Okay, so perfect. Let's put this thing back together. Like I said, that's a 2430 Surpass hobby motor, which is like basically Chinese, and fits right in. It'll bolt right back up. So that was the right size. Now we're going to take our coupling set screw out and put our motor in. Does this have an indent? It does. Okay. Obviously, make sure your indent is with the same side as the set screw. Probably bad time to do the video. So that fits right in there. I ordered new servos. I was going to use that little guy, but the Spectrum, but I wanted to keep that for the plane, so I ended up buying some cheapo ones that were metal gears, because don't get the plastic gear ones. They will just immediately strip. It's horrible. Also, you want your wires facing upwards, by the way. When you mount the motor, face them upwards. I guess you can face them down. I'm facing up because it's gonna, the ESC's wire is gonna come up like this. So I want these to be up here so it's not like, in the way. It's basically to give me more room, because remember, you're working with like minimal space here. Oh, I did the thing again. Crap. Oh no, there we go. Don't do that thing. I don't know what happens when that thing does the thing. Anyway, I'm having trouble mounting this already. Kind of had a feeling this would happen with how small these bolts are and how little room they give you. So I'm going to skip this part. That took me like 20 minutes to get this motor in. It's just, it's a pain. So, you got your motor in. Let's put the ESC in. Unfortunately, I don't even think I have double-sided tape. Yep, forgot to pick that up, and I'm all out. So, maybe I have some here. I got some Velcro I can use. That'll work. That'll probably be better, actually. Yeah, that'll honestly be better, because the way this thing contours the hull of the boat is pretty rough. Actually, well, actually, that's fine. Okay. So I have to solder my ends on everything, but I can place this, and like I said, it's Velcro, so it makes life pretty easy. I can just take it right back off. So that's how it's going to be for me. It's pretty crammed. Oh well. Hopefully I don't have to take that motor off and I have the right bullet connectors, because I believe I do. But first and foremost, I need to make sure I have enough clearance here. And I sure do. Yeah, I have plenty of clearance. So this actually, this hull allows a lot of room. And now it's going to be nose heavy, which kind of concerns me. But what am I going to do? Really nose heavy, actually. Anyway, let's keep going. So your ESC and motor is in. Obviously you need, I'm going to do all my soldering later on so that anybody who's actually watching for just mounting this stuff can, and I also need double-sided for that. So anyway, I'm putting my receiver loosely right next to the motor right here, up here. So that's also the side the servo's on. There's weights on this side to counter those, the servo and the receiver. So that's why I'm putting them on that side. Let me get my servos out. So here's another little servo I bought. I think it was like $13 on Amazon. Metal gear. I bought the plastic gear and it literally just sat there and ground. It was like wee, and like grinding up the gears inside. So that just didn't work. And once again, your battery is going to be on the side of the weight, the counterweight, and that'll give you enough room for this fat thing. Yours is probably going to be smaller if you do like a 30. You could do a 30 with this tiny motor. I did a 60 because I'm not water cooled. A 30 you will probably have to be water cooled, which would take up a lot of room in here, and that's I'm just not doing that. So honestly, maybe I saved myself a headache. I don't know. I really don't. We'll see. So also with the motor, mount your coupling first. Mount the shaft to the coupling first before you mount the motor, before you put the motor mounts in, because you won't be able to see your motor shaft and if it's oriented correctly after the motor's mounted, and then you're going to fiddle with that for another 30 hours like I did. Well, I don't wish that on anybody, so you might be able to mount that motor in 2 seconds, but it was horrible for me. I hope the best for everybody on this who's watching this. I hope I can at least help you see what you're getting into when you do that, when you upgrade this thing. But I am going to still say it is worth it. There were much better off-the-shelf boats, jet boats, and I honestly did no research before I bought this. I thought this was like the only jet boat out there. Okay, it looks like the servo's pretty tall. Huh. It's mounted, but it looks very like it's pushing into the hull of the boat. Kind of weird. Didn't expect that to be the case. Let me see if it's any shorter than the Spectrum right here. No, they're the same height. I'm wondering what the other one I had, the stock one, is. I don't get that. That's weird. Oh well. It's mounted. It's just like, it looks like it's pushing into the hull. I don't get that. Oh well. Oh well, oh well, oh well. Gonna have to deal with it. So I'll put your servo saver or servo horn on. This thing's got a lot of settings. Holy. Sorry if I'm not showing too much. I'm really just trying to work through it and then show you after, because I trust that everybody who's watching this can definitely do the handiwork. If not, that's okay. and I'll lock this down after I'm done hooking everything up so that you can get your trim set correctly. That was the wrong screw. Your trim has to be set, or your servo horn location has to be set at 0. At least you want to when you turn on your transmitter and receiver. So I am moving on to soldering and everything, so I'm gonna skip this. Well, if you want to skip, I'm going to put the video in and just skip ahead until you see the boat finished. How about that? All right, guys, it's been like 2 days since that last video where the video's cut. It's been like 2 days. So I have a problem, and I'm pretty sure everybody might have noticed this. This says BL Heli. This is for aviation. Problem is, the programming sucks on that because you have to plug it into something and then program it. I don't have that. I thought this would just be a plug, and then maybe I could set the throttle, and then you're good, which you can. Problem is, it doesn't zero out like this. See how that's centered here, and it just goes back to center? Well, this either likes to be here or here. That's how this ESC works, because it's for a helicopter where you only have one direction. There's no reverse. This is set up for a reverse forward setting. The planes aren't, which you can do it with a plane because you could put your stick in the center and then back would be reverse. It's complicated. That's not the point. This can't do that. So I'm just going to continue with it, show you what I did. I'm just going to get a new ESC, and then we'll do another video on how it runs after I get the other ESC, or if I can get this one working after doing some research. But we're going to skip ahead and mount everything, because the only thing that I don't have to mount is the ESC. Everything else is done. So anyway, this is where we're at with it. And you can see my connections. I had to put new bullets on it. And then all I did was take a really big soldering gun and put it up against. So you see that pocket. Well, you fill that pocket. You heat it up to the point where it's like, don't touch it. And then you just stick your solder in, and it starts filling it. And then put this in a vise, and then you stick your wire in, take the heat gun or heat away, cool it off, and it'll, that's how you get these bullet connectors to work, because it might look intimidating, like how the heck do I do that? But any soldering iron will work. So that's how I did it. Threw some heat shrink over it, we're good to go. Now, mounting purposes, let's get into that. Should have some tape here. I don't know where I put it. So I've got my double-sided Gorilla mounting tape, and I'm gonna mount my receiver, like I said, where it was in that corner, or side, on that side, sorry. Of course, the worst part of Gorilla Tape, and you're supposed to tear it, almost like bunding tape, but I forgot to do that. It's getting that backing plastic off, the worst part. So I'm gonna turn it this way so the antenna is facing towards the back of the motor, or back of the boat. Put that right up on the side there. Basically, I want to show you guys how this thing is going to look when it's all said and done inside the boat, so you know what you're looking at before you even get into this. So really sorry I can't run it, but I messed up with the purchase. I should have known. Should have done a little more research, but well, stuff happens. There's literally only 10 bucks for this thing, so it wasn't a huge loss, but it's just the time that it took, took away. Okay, we're actually ready to put the lid on this thing. So I was gonna mount the ESC on the roof, actually, but instead, I should mount it on the roof. I'm gonna mount it on the top of this, so that it's kind of out of the way of everything. And I'm doing this because maybe I can get the CSC to work. It does work. It runs the motor. It's just that the motor, you would have to hold the controller down at one end all the time in order for the motor not to run, and then you got to pin it. So it's just weird. It wouldn't. It's not ideal for any RC guy to do that. It's just not in the norm. This won't come back off anymore. There we go. Some hefty Velcro, huh? This is actually working out very well. Lots of room. Still can access your receiver from out here, so if you want to, mess with the servos or whatnot, you can take them out, put them in, stuff like that. Remember, this is a way oversized ESC as well, so I'm going big right now, and I'm definitely going smaller when I get this new one, if I have to get a new one. But this did work out. Okay, so I have to turn it to the side a bit because this is hitting the resistors or capacitors are hitting the motor. Once again, nothing stressed. No motor leads are bent at a horrible 90 that they're gonna, start a fire or something. That won't happen. Everything looks dandy. Wow, okay. Actually, I think I'm running out of room all of a sudden. Who would have thought? There we go. Never mind. It's just placement of those wires. It's really annoyingly tough. So, we're going to bolt this back together, throw a battery in it, and show you just how it looks from the outside if you do a waterless or a non-water cooled setup. Screwdriver. Come on. Here. Oh, I just lost the screw. That thing's gone forever. Oh, it's actually not. Let's go. I'll plug it in and show you what I mean with the throttle, so you don't do the same thing that I did. Oh my gosh, these things are so tiny, it's annoying. Come on. There we go. Okay, so watch out driving your servo down. In the beginning of the video I said it was pushing. Well, it is. You can see a little bow there, and actually the white marks. So I loosened it up and it just lifted up a bit, but I kind of nailed them down. So it's not like it's sitting in there loose, it's just lifted up now. So this is what the inside of the boat still looks like. This is upgraded with a huge ESC in it. So your battery's gonna go right there, which I'll do right now. And I'll plug it in and everything. Oh crap, I put the connectors on wrong on the receiver. Whoops. Gotta flip those around. Negative on the positive, positive on the negative, you know. Go. I can't really get my huge fingers in there. So, it's accessible. I just can't get my fingers in there. There we go. skip ahead if you want to just, you know, see it run. I know I would. There we go. Stuff that back in there. Make sure wires aren't pinched. Good. Okay. Now, let's throw a battery in this thing, huh? So it didn't run. That's good. It usually starts running away. It didn't. So the still same battery mount works. The original battery mount is what you will use, just like that. And look at all this room you have. I mean, honestly, this is kind of wild. Why they didn't just make this a big system. So look, it's half throttle, off. That's the problem I'm having. So here you go. That is your upgraded boat. I have the servo on the steering servo on the wrong channel. So anyway, that's the video. Hold on a second. Well, yeah, that's how to fit that in your boat. It does fit. It does work. Don't get the ESC I got. They do make the same kind of looking ESCs where it's just like in a shrink wrap. They do make those that have reverse and forwards. I just got the wrong one. And you get a 40 amp, it'll fit in there with ease. And once again, this motor's cheap, but don't get this ESC. So, alrighty guys, that's the video how to upgrade your Proboat. Hope you enjoyed. Alrighty.